Cat-like reflexes save us from a head-on crash. November 1st, 2020, Howard and I spent a lovely day, our anniversary, biking the paths at Fort DeSoto Beach and then sitting on a deserted section of the beach under a mangrove tree's shade. Howie read about tiger genetics and I wrote him a poem. Then I just sat and drank in the salt life. I wanted to leave by 4:30 because the clocks move back today and I don't like to drive after dark. It was cloudy and twilight by about 5:20 p.m. as I was heading westbound on Memorial Highway by Rocky Point Golf Course. I didn't see the impact between two small white cars in the eastbound lanes that snapped the driver's front wheel and front quarter panel off the car that had jumped across the median and was now barreling straight toward me. I heard and smelled the approach before I saw it. The screaming, high-pitched screech of the drive shaft digging and burning into the road due to the turning of the missing wheel and the speed that it was advancing toward me filled my nostrils with the smell of molten asphalt. Sparks flew in advance of the car that was hurtling toward us at alarming speed. The approaching car pitched violently to my right, and instinctively I must have reached out to brace Howie for impact, but using my left hand, I steered to the left to avoid a collision. Time slowed as the car made a sudden spin back to my left, so again I steered opposite of him. Just as he came within inches of the left side of my truck, I saw the car was about to swerve toward me again in the snake-like whipping manner that it had been traveling. I stomped the gas hard as I could to pull forward so that his pitch back toward me just barely missed the rear of my truck and our two bikes that were still in the rack. Within about 10 car lengths, the driver managed to pull his swerving little car to a halt in the middle of both oncoming lanes, which had veered away from him so that no one else was hit. Seeing all were frozen on both sides of the street, I saw the car that must have been where the original wreck occurred, as it too seemed to have taken most of the impact and was now nosed off into the grass on the other side of the street. I muttered something about people being too dumbstruck by the scene to drive. Checking mirrors to make sure I could avoid those in front of me who were gawking, Howie said, "I was looking at the golf course and didn't even see the car coming at us until you hit me in the chest. It happened so fast, I wasn't even aware that I reached out to protect him, so I said, 'I hit you in the chest?'" We both had a good laugh about my reaction, as my mother had done that once in a near accident we were in when I was a child, and she had knocked the wind out of me. Howie then went on to say the driver of the car had done an amazing job of keeping his car under control. I just shook my head. Did he not see that the only reason we didn't die in a head-on collision tonight is because time slowed to the point where I was able to counter every uncontrolled swerve of the approaching driver? I'll chalk it up to him having lost oxygen to his brain while I pinned him to his seat while steering one-handed to save us both.